We're good? Well, thank you all for coming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Sheriff Ron Spike from Yates County kind of kick it off, so the timeline of the investigation will make more sense that way. So, Ron?
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sheriff Ron Spike from Yates County. As you know, early Wednesday morning at around 8 a.m., our 911 dispatch received a call of a body that was discovered 4 miles west of Penn and off Adams Road. The body was about 50 feet off the road. I could tell you now that the body was wrapped in a tarp, and there was also a shovel found at the scene, and evidence indicated that some kind of a corrosive acid was poured over the body's face. From there, we started an investigation into missing persons, and the state police got involved with us to help us in that investigation, and we were looking at several missing person cases, including the missing person case in the town of Penfield that the Monroe County Sheriff's Office was working on. The medical examiner's office was able to come up with a cause of death that was determined to be asphyxiation via strangulation. There was also blunt force and blunt trauma to the head area, and through our investigation, we have made an identification of that individual. And I'll let Sheriff O'Flynn take it from there. Sheriff Flynn?
All right. Thanks, Ron. Well, on the 20th, around 2 p.m., the Monroe County Sheriff's Office responded to 135 New Wickham Drive in the town of Penfield for the report of a missing person. Missing person was a Craig Rideout of that same address. As Sheriff Spike previously mentioned, our investigators received reports of a body that was found in a wooded area near Adams Road in Yates County in the town of Jerusalem. The Sheriff's Office here and the Yates County Sheriff's Office and members of the New York State Police began a joint investigation, and we believe the body of the individual found in Yates County is our missing person, Craig Rideout. And we're awaiting forensic confirmation from the Monroe County Medical Examiner's Office before we can officially announce that. However, based on some of the evidence that we found throughout the investigation, we believe that to be the case. In connection with this homicide investigation, we're announcing the arrest of Alexander Rideout and Colin Rideout and Laura Rideout. The two brothers, Alexander and Colin, were arraigned in Mendentown Court and charged with tampering with evidence of felony. Both Alexander and Colin were remanded to the Monroe County Jail last night in lieu of $25,000 cash, $50,000 bond. Their mother, Laura Rideout, was arraigned in Penfield Town Court on felony charges of burglary in the second degree and tampering with evidence, and she was remanded on $25,000 cash and $50,000 bond. Alexander and Colin and Laura Rideout reside at 10 Mildenall Ridge in the town of Parenton. We're still seeking the community's help in locating the victim's vehicle, which is a 2010 gray Honda Odyssey, New York registration CTR 2094, which is registered to Craig Rideout. Anyone with information, and if they may have seen that vehicle from Wednesday and beyond, we ask them to please call 911 and share the information with us. Once again, I'd like to commend Sheriff Ron Spike and the members of the Yates County Sheriff's Office and Lieutenant Doug Montillo from the New York State Police for their superb work and incredible coordination throughout this multi-county investigation. It really has been a seamless experience with everyone sharing and working hard together to bring justice to this case. So I'll open it up to any questions that anybody may have.
Sheriff, do you know who committed this murder and this crime?
All of the details we're currently investigating, obviously. We've been able to link some of the behavior, and that's where the charges have started. However, the investigation is really in its infancy, just being 2 days old, and we're confident that we'll be able to link all the pieces and bring justice to this.
Has
be
the
clear-
wife and the two sons in this case said why they may have been involved in this? Is there a motive?
At this point, I said the investigation continuing, and I really don't have all the detail as far as some of the conversations that have occurred.
Did any of that investigation yesterday, Sheriff, out of Mendon Ponds lead to these arrests?
Yes.
What was
Can you
found?
Can you explain?
Some of the detail as far as some of the information that the sheriff had, we were able to locate some of that evidence at the scene in Mendon.
The car then that you pulled out, that you took away on the tow truck, would you believe that was involved in trying to dump some of those materials?
I believe so, yes.
The ex-wife tried to destroy evidence at his home, correct?
Yes,
So at this point, no one's officially charged with murder?
that's correct.
But you believe that, I mean, you don't believe that someone that you have in custody is responsible for the murder itself?
We are, as I said, we're working the investigation rather aggressively, and we hope to be able to have more answers as we go forward.
Where did those emails play in that, showed up on one of the Facebook pages between Mr. Rideout and one of his children? How do they play into this?
Obviously, we're taking any information that's potentially related to the case and evaluating that.
So can you elaborate any more on what was found in Mendon Ponds Park? I'm sorry if I missed that, but I mean, that's not where the shovel was found? What was dumped in the water?
It appears that some of the property from the scene in Penfield was dropped there because there were some chemicals and such that we believe are related to the investigation.
What do you think was the point of pouring the corrosive material over the vase? I mean, you can't identify who it is at that point.
Correct.
Is that why it took a little longer to identify who?
And that's why we're waiting for official forensic confirmation from the medical examiner's office, because there was some disfiguring of the body.
Do you know how many children Ms. Rideout and Mr. Rideout have together?
Somewhere, seven? Seven.
So
Where's the other 5 kids? Do we know? Two are in custody. Do we know where the other 5 kids are?
Yeah. We believe one of the children is down in North Carolina, and the rest of the children are up here in Rochester.
with family members or?
Yes.
Custody?
Yep.
Sheriff, either sheriff, I guess. Do you know how the body got moved from Penfield to Yates County? And I assume that's why you're still looking for the van, but is that what you believe happened? Where do you believe the incident occurred? And then I'm assuming you believe that it was transported there. At what point do you believe that it was the corrosive chemicals were poured on and, you know?
The corrosive chemicals were poured on at the scene of where the body was found. And we do have a linkage, which I won't get into what it is, but there's evidence that some of the items in Mendon Ponds we could link to the actual scene down in Yates County. And we do have witnesses that put 2 vehicles at the scene at Adams Road at 5 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday morning. And so our investigation was able to, working with both the state police and the Monroe County, we were able to link all these things together. Rather a complex case, actually, the way it's coming down, but it is coming together, and we're making great progress with following leads as I speak.
So who will handle murder charges if and when those are filed?
That'll be a coordination between, obviously, the state police, the Yates County Sheriff's Office, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and the district attorney's office, both in Monroe and Yates County.
Sheriff Spike, do you believe that the one of those vehicles was that missing car?
I do.
Do you think that may be down in your county?
We're still looking for it.
So just to clarify the timeline here, either Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning is when you believe the actual murder took place. Then the body was transported to Yates County when you found it after that, correct?
Yeah, we believe that the murder took place sometime in the evening there, overnight or early morning. And obviously, the body, according to our witnesses, was being placed in our county around 5 a.m. That morning.
The court paperwork seems to indicate that someone emailed the victim's work and said trying to cover up for him not being there that day. Is that something you're, you know, who's responsible for that email, or sort of what happened moving forward from that?
Familiar with any of that?
Yeah, obviously, with all the computer analysis that we have to do, there's a lot of forensic analysis that has to be done on both cell phones as well as computers, iPhones. All of that stuff is so preliminary. We're sending all that stuff to the lab. There's, we certainly believe there's a connection with the people that we have in custody with regards to the homicide. You know, it just takes time, and that's, you know, one of the things that is important for this investigation is that, you know, you give us some time to try and download all this stuff. We have to send them to the labs. If we could solve this thing in 24 hours all the time, it would be a great thing. But a lot of times it takes that time to try and analyze all the forensics that are involved in this. There's a number of things that have been brought to the lab that we're waiting for, obviously blood to come back, DNA. All these things take time, and so, you know, as the sheriff mentioned, the arrests that we've made are related what we believe to be the homicide. But you know, the investigation is so early on, and it's spanning 2 counties, multiple agencies, multiple scenes. As you know, there was warrants. We've executed a number of search warrants at a number of locations. But these things take time to with the lab and with, you know, some of our technicians to process it. So we really don't have a lot of the answers that you're looking for, and we appreciate the questions. But you have to understand, from our standpoint, until we can have those answers solidly for you, it's an ongoing investigation. They're working diligently around the clock. You know, guys have been out for 40 hours working this case, and so we appreciate the questions, but please understand you know, the position that we're in.
Can we talk a little bit about the family dynamic, how it would be described? We've got estranged wife, and we saw those emails. Is there any kind of indication of the family dynamic here with everyone involved?
As I said before, we're looking at all of the evidence. We're looking at all of the information that we're receiving from everything from texts and phone messages to you know, physical evidence at the different scenes, and we've been to different houses and such looking at that. So we're trying to piece together, but I don't want to jump to any specific conclusion there.
Are there other suspects you may be looking at?
Potentially.
You mentioned one of the children is in North Carolina. Do you know when they left for North Carolina? If you believe it is tied to this case, if they're, you know, sort of on the run, or?
No, we don't believe that to be the case. We believe he may in fact be in the military down there.
He's been living there a while.
Can you talk about what led you guys to Mendon Ponds? What made you go there? What made you seize the car? What led you guys there?
We received information from an individual that observed something suspicious going on, and our deputy was able to respond and take the 2 boys into custody.
The victim's sister mentioned that she walked into the townhouse and found the wife in there cleaning up. Have you been able to recover what it was she was trying to clean up?
We recovered quite a bit of evidence at that scene, yes.
There were some pretty serious allegations in those emails that got out. Is it possible that this man that was missing had a criminal past?
We are looking at all of the evidence and trying to, you know, understand and connect how it would affect this case.
Are you speaking about the victim?
Yeah.
There's no criminal.
There's no criminal.
If there's no further questions, I just received word before we came down here that she is in the process of bailing out. So if you want to catch video of that, I don't know how fast it's going to happen. So.
But I just want to close by thanking once again Sheriff Ron Spike for coming up here, and Doug Montijo for all of their support in this case and the great cooperation among the 3 agencies.
And I just want to thank the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and the New York State Police for all their help for our agency. We appreciate everything they've done to help us. Thank you.